Good morning and welcome to another reading vlog, a Friday reading vlog from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books, and Minnie, who I thought maybe was about to hit me, but there we go. It could still be on the cards. It's early morning, and normally I open these vlogs with me in bed, and then we swiftly move on to me making a cup of tea and then going and sitting in the lounge to pick out the books and the question. I know, Minnie. But today I'm off to London. I'm very excited to be off to London. Mercedes and I are seeing each other for the first time since before the pandemic. Since before the pandemic. I think the last time Mercedes and I saw one another was when we went on holiday with Jen, Jean and Norton to Suffolk, which is a lovely autumnal vlog. If you'd like to go and check out Lauren's video, I'll link that down below. But I think that was the last time Mercedes and I saw one another, which would be like literally about 3 years ago. So we're going to do a little bookshop tour. We've got a table booked at Mildred's, which used to be a vegetarian restaurant and now is a vegan restaurant in London, in Covent Garden. We're going to go to Foyles, we're going to go to Forbidden Planet, we're going to go to some of our other favourite bookshops. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So that involves getting up quite early. David is driving us to Stratford and then I'm going to get the tube in. She's just meowing so much. But I will still answer the question and I will need a book to take with me. So shall we go and pick my book and get the questions, and then I'll pick the question for the day, and then I need to get ready and in the car and ready to go, don't we, David? We've got to leave in 47 minutes. You going to be ready to leave in 47 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Don't you get comfortable, Minnie. I've got to go and pick something up. Right, I'll meet you in the lounge so I can pick my book. You go over to Daddy. Here we go. Well, this might look like a new selection of books for you guys because this is my October TBR. There are a few hangovers from last month, but there's a few newbies on here. Now, I think what I'm going to take with me is this, because it's a slip of a thing, Heaven by Mieko Kawakami. And it won't take up much room in my bag because I imagine there'll be more books being bought today, but this is what I think I'm going to take today. Now I need to pop this. Oh, this is a good hint about a book that I've got coming up that I'm going to read. I'm very excited to read this eventually. My cousin Rachel. My Daphne tomorrow. But yeah, let's go and talk about Heaven by Mieko Kawakami. Oh, and I need my lit chat cards. Back in bed. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to take Heaven by Mieko Kawakami because it's a thinner book, so it's not going to take up much space in my bag because I'm already going to be buying books today. And I was sent this for the Books My Bag Readers Award. This is on the Breakthrough Author shortlist. It says, in a Japanese school we meet a 14-year-old boy subjected to relentless torment for having a lazy eye. He chooses to suffer in silence instead of fighting back. The only person who understands what he's going through is a female classmate, Kojima, who experiences similar treatment at the hands of her bullies. Providing each other with consolation at a time in their lives when they need it most, the two young friends go closer than ever. But what ultimately is the nature of friendship when your shared bond is terror? Unflinching yet tender, sharply observed, intimate and multi-layered, Heaven stands as yet another dazzling testament to Mieko Kawakami's uncontainable talent. There we go. And it was on the shortlist of the 2022 International Booker Prize and was on the 100 must-read books of 2021. Amazing. So yeah, I'm going to read that and I'll let you know how I get on with that. But I'll read the first line because we always do, don't we? One day toward the end of April, between classes, I unzipped my pencil case and found a folded triangle of paper between the pencils. Exciting. And then the lit chat question, which we'll answer at the end of this. Let's have a look. Do a little shuffle. Do the shuffle. Is that the shuffle song?
Yeah, could
do
be.
The shuffle. Breakfast at Tiffany's. What? Oh, you'll like this question, David. Oh yeah. What is your favourite movie or television series based on a book? What made it a good adaptation? What is your favourite movie or television series based on a book? What made it a good adaptation? I'm looking forward to answering that. You can't answer now. You have to answer at the end.
Okay, well, I've only got one answer.
Oh, well, I've got a few. I wonder what your one answer is. I'm looking forward to hearing that later.
Well, there's only one book I've ever read before I've seen the movie.
Wonder?
No. but that's two.
Okay.
I've watched a film of some and then read the book. But there's only
Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you've watched lots of TV. Oh no, you won't have read as much as I. Okay.
No.
Anyway, we're going to answer it later. What is your favourite movie or television series based on a book? What made it a good adaptation?
Getting out of bed. So
He's getting out of bed. The camera's going to shake. I'm going to have to go. I'll see you when we're on the way. Bye. On the road. David's got his little autumn. David said I look like I'm dressed in Gilmore Girls today because of my autumnal outfit. And is it my autumnal lipstick?
I don't know. It just looks red.
It's autumnal. It's sort of like burnt orange, would you say?
Orange.
We are driving to Stratford. David works in Stratford. The plan was to either drive to Ebbsfleet and get the train in, but we're actually going to drive to Stratford and then I can get the tube in and meet Mercedes at Foyles. Very excited. And I was also thinking, David, maybe when I meet you back at Stratford, we could go in Lush and get some Christmas stuff. Because I think the Christmas stuff's out now.
Yeah.
So that'll be quite exciting.
Well, yeah, I'd also like to go into Tiger as well because they've got Halloweeny bits as well.
You're not done with the Halloweeny bits so far?
Maybe not.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're going to listen to, on the way, a podcast that both of us are very, very invested in. It's very funny. It's Wolf and Owl with Tom Davis and Ramesh Ranganathan. It's just two blokes chatting, two comedians, and it's just really funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
We very much like Tom. We find him very warm and kind.
They're very good, like, mental health.
Yeah, there's a lot in it, like, particularly as a like a man, you must listen to this and think, because they really talk about male mental health, which is something
and especially Tom Davis, because he's quite like a masculine man. Like, he's a big guy.
He used to work on the old
he used to work on the
old building sites and stuff. He's a big guy, and there's a lot in there about like body acceptance and stuff like that. So yeah, really, really recommend. And it is hilarious. So we've saved yesterday's episode to listen to on the way up today. Oh, the fluorescent window looks beautiful. And we're going to do that. And then I guess I'll see you when I'm in London. I've simply got to show you one of my favourite things, which is motorway verges in autumn. Because look at all these amazing autumnal colours. And this is my road to work, so I see this change, and I see the leaves drop and I see them blossoming in the spring, but in autumn it's my absolute fave. But they're just so nice, she says, as they literally all turn green. But look, just like yellows and browns and reds and still some greens. Like, I just love a motorway verge. Do you think there's anything wrong in that, David?
Not at all. Motorways aren't exactly the funnest roads in the world, so you got to grab it now. Grab them.
But look how lovely the colours are. Those ones over there. hope you enjoyed that little montage of mine and Mercedes' bookish trip to London. We went to Foyles, we went to Forbidden Planet, we went to any amount of books. We went to Lush. We ate at Mildred's, which is an amazing plant-based restaurant that's got a few branches in London. Oh, I had spinach gyoza. I mean, you would have said all of this. I had spinach gyoza for start. Then I had a curry that was like coconutty and delicious with like a pineapple salsa. David, the pineapple salsa was amazing. Yeah. Mercedes had an artichoke to start, and then she had sausage and mash. The sausage and mash looked really good. And then we both had ginger sticky toffee pudding for dessert with custard. Absolutely gorgeous. It was just really nice. We had a really good catch up. We haven't seen each other for 3 years, so it was really nice to have a lovely, lovely catch up. So as you will see, this vlog has extended into Saturday. So what's actually happened is that David's not very well. He's woke up this morning with a terrible cold, although I believe it maybe started happening last night. We went back to our friend's house after we got back and played a few games, and you were a bit sort of out of sorts then, weren't you? Not COVID, he's done a COVID test. I was just thinking this, David, how long before we stop saying not COVID after the end of everything? Like when someone's ill and you say, oh, they're really ill, not COVID.
Because when I was in the office earlier this week, a couple of people have got poorly. And
I think there's like some sort of like coldy stuff going around at the moment. So anyway, David's having a day on the sofa today. Just done him a pumpkin spice bagel and a Beecham's cold and flu hot blackcurrant.
Delicious.
So he's staying there. He's got an orange balancing on his knee, and he's going to eat that. Oh, we've got the window open to get him some fresh air. But I thought I would show you the books that I bought yesterday. Now these will be appearing in a book haul as well, but I would love to show you, and also the Lush items we bought yesterday. And yeah, this, like I said, this vlog is going to sort of extend in today. I want to sort out a bit of my wardrobe. I'm making a video of that at the moment. And yeah, just looking after David, maybe a few chores. And then we'll be answering the question, what is your favourite movie or television series based on a book? What made it a good adaptation? We'll be answering that at the end of the video. Hope you don't mind that sometimes these videos extend into the next day. I quite like it, actually. That it spans. Oh, do you, David? Because then you get to be in them.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll show you these books. I'm going to put this one at the bottom because that's what I'm most excited about. So first of all, I've got Nettleback by Nat Reeve. This is a front cover. The sun's gone in, so you can't see the front cover. The front cover is absolutely gorgeous. And I love this green on the old French flap. So this is set in 1893, and we're following Henry Nettleback. That's a female character, has to act fast or she'll be married off by her elder sister. But leaving the safety of her wealthy life isn't as simple as she thought. Ambushed, robbed and then saved by a mysterious organisation, part detective agency, part neighbourhood watch, a desperate Henry disguises herself and enlists. Sent out to investigate a string of crimes, she soon realises that she's living in a small rural town with surprisingly big problems. How good does this sound? When the net starts to close around Henry and sinister forces threaten to expose her as the missing Nettleback sister, Nettleback, the new people in her life seem to offer her a way out and a way forward. Is the world she's lost in also a place she can find herself? Told through journal entries and letters, and I love a book told through, what's the word? Epistolary. Love that word. Nettleback it means a book told through letters.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Epistolary.
Epistolary.
That's a cool word.
Is a subversive and playful ride through the perils and joys of finding your place in the world, challenging myths about queerness, particularly transness, and as a modern phenomenon, while exploring the practicalities of articulating queer perspectives when you're struggling for words. This sounds amazing, so I'm very, very excited about that. The font, however, is tiny, and the book itself is over 400 pages long. Might be a long thing. I bought that in Foyles. I also bought in Foyles A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lin. And this says, for Ning, the only thing worse than losing her mother is knowing that it's her own fault. She was the one who unknowingly brewed the poison tea that killed her. The poison tea that now threatens to take her sister's shoe. When Ning hears of a competition to find the kingdom's greatest Shenong Shi, my pronunciation of that is probably not right, masters of the ancient and magical art of tea making, she travels to the imperial city to compete. The winner will receive a favour from the princess, which may be Ning's only chance to save her sister's life. But between the backstabbing competitors, bloody court politics, and a mysterious and handsome boy with a shocking secret, Ning's life might actually be the one in more danger. I think that sounds great too, and the front cover of that is beautiful. Lots of lovely covers. Then I've got these two I bought in any amount of books. The Movement by Ayisha Malik. Ayisha Malik is the author of This Green and Pleasant Land, which I read last year or the year before, and also Sophia Khan is Not Obliged, which I haven't read but I've got out from the library many times. So this says, everywhere Sarah Javid goes, online or outside, everyone is shouting about something. Couldn't they all just shut up? One day she takes her own advice. At first people don't understand her silence and are politely confused at best, but the last thing Sarah could anticipate is becoming the figurehead of a global movement that splits society in two. The silent movement sparks outrage in its opposers, global structures start to shift, and the lives of those closest to Sarah, as well as strangers inspired by her act, begin to unravel. It's time for the world to reconsider what it means to have a voice. That sounds fabulous. And then I also got Alison by Lizzy Stewart. This is a graphic novel about Alison, who is in her early 20s, newly married and living in rural Dorset, working class Dorset. She forsakes convention and her working class Dorset roots for the thrumming art scene of London in the late 70s. Ooh, she's dropped her bookmark that I got. That's what any amount of books looks like outside, by the way, guys. And yeah, it sounds great. It's sort of like, it's a graphic novel, but also with like passages of text in it. There's also like, as well as Lizzy's artwork throughout, there's also bits of art in here that I saw, sort of like sculptures and stuff. Printed letters, so like art from maybe not Lizzy but maybe somebody within the book, I don't know. There we go. Sketches and things like that. Looks like it's going to be great, very interesting. And then the last book, as I said, I'm excited about all of these books, but this is the one I was most excited about. I bought this in Forbidden Planet. It's The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandanna. It says here, oh God, this just feels so cute and cozy. As one of the few witches in Britain, Mieko Moon has lived her life by 3 rules. Hide your magic, keep your head down, and stay away from other witches. An orphan raised by strangers from a young age, Mieko is good at being alone, and she doesn't mind it, mostly. But then an unexpected message arrives, begging her to travel to the remote and mysterious Nowhere House to teach 3 young witches, and Mieko jumps at the chance for a different life. Nowhere House is nothing like she expects, and she's quickly tangled up in the lives and secrets of its quirky, caring inhabitants. And with Jamie, the handsome, prickly librarian who would do anything to protect his charges and who sees Mieka's arrival as a threat, an irritatingly appealing threat. As Mieko finds her feet, the thought of belonging somewhere starts to feel like a real possibility, but magic isn't the only danger in the world, and soon Mieko will need to decide whether to risk everything to protect the found family she didn't know she was looking for. Found family is one of my favourite things to read about, so yeah. So those are my 5 books that I bought yesterday. I'm so excited about all of them. I'm going to pop them in, so you'll probably see them appear in a book haul later on, and I think maybe I'm going to stick them all on next month's TBR. So I started reading Heaven by Mieko Kawakami on the tube yesterday on the way to meet Mercedes, and had a little read of it when I was waiting for Mercedes in Foyles. I'm 38 pages in. And I'm quite enjoying it. Sort of not much else has happened than what the blurb explains. So the blurb explains that, what is his name? The main character. Oh my goodness me, what is his name? That's madness. Okay, so the young lad that is at the heart of this story and is subjected to some awful bullying has befriended a girl in his class called Kojima. They write letters to one another. She is also subjected to some awful bullying, and they're beginning to bond and make friends, and based on the fact that they're both victims of bullying. The title Heaven, I've just arrived at the bit which is the title, where the title comes from, is that Kojima has taken him along to an art gallery, and she's renamed some of the paintings in there. One of them she's named Heaven, and they're just looking at it at the moment. So yeah, it's actually heaven. So I've been enjoying that. Then also, just to show you what I bought in Lush as well, because there was a few Christmassy bits in there that I wanted to buy before I crack on with the day. So first of all, we bought this to go on it. You'll know that we've got, oh well, here, just behind the Era, we have a big poster frame where we put these Lush, this smells lovely, Lush, what do we call these? Scarves, I guess, in. Yeah. Now this one is beautiful because it's autumnal on this side with acorns and beautiful, I love that blue. And then on the other side, in fact I might put this up right now, it's got this sort of wintry scene with holly berries and like snow and gorgeousness. So that is lovely in there at the moment. says at the bottom, "You filthy animal," because it's part of the Christmas range. Then we bought a few things from the Christmas range. So the first thing I bought was this Christmas cranberry soap, which is cranberry and orange. I'll move you away so you don't have to look at that area anymore. Cranberry and orange. Now, it said £6, and I thought that was £6 per bar. Then when I went up there, this was £9.36, which is more than I would normally spend on soap. But I'm going to put it in the bath and use it in the bath. It smells lovely.
Nice, doesn't it?
And then David bought, which he's going to use today actually, because I think it will be good for him, because he's feeling a bit achy. He bought, what was this called? There's no sticker on it. I think it was called
Bonfire.
Bonfire, yeah. I quite like these ones. So this is a bath bomb within...
I don't think I've ever had one in a bag
Oh,
before.
I have. So it's a bath bomb within a muslin, and what that usually means is that there's something like oats or something in there, and then afterwards you can use the muslin to have like a little wash with.
I was wondering why it was in a bag.
It smells amazing.
Yeah, it does smell lovely, doesn't it?
So David treated himself to that. And then I bought a Magical Santa, which doesn't smell Christmassy at all. Looks Christmassy because it's Santa.
But it smells nice.
But it smells really nice. It's like clementine or something. Very, very nice. So yeah, just a few bits from my day yesterday, which I had a lovely, lovely time. So now I'm going to go and continue to film my sorting out my wardrobe video. I normally do that on Instagram, but I've done it as a video this year just because I haven't been able to do it in one big chunk. I've been doing it like little bit by little bit, so that's why it's all coming out as a video. So you'll probably see this video before you see that, so that might be something to get excited about. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll check in on David as the day goes by. How was your bagel?
Bagel was delicious. I forgot how nice they are.
How was your blackcurrant?
Blackcurrant is nice.
And how was your orange?
I'm just about to have my first segment.
And then he's got chicken soup for lunch. He wanted chicken and sweet corn soup, but they didn't have chicken and sweet corn soup, so I bought chicken and vegetable, and I'm going to add a can of sweet corn to it. Or you can have chicken noodle and I'll add a can of sweet corn to it. That might be even better for you. And I got you a seeded roll.
Lovely.
Cute. Right, well I'm going to go and crack on with the wardrobing. This is what David's watching. Decorating Disneyland for Halloween. You like things like that, don't you, David?
I do.
Is it on YouTube or is it on Disney Plus?
YouTube.
Guys,
Disney Plus.
you could, I'll link it down below if that's something you might be interested in. So, I've had lunch. I did David some chicken noodle soup with some sweet corn in. Got a load of washing on, a load of washing ready. I've done one box of clothes. I've put away all my clothes that were waiting to be put away for washing. I'm just going to check to see if David needs anything, because then I'm going to read for a bit. David?
Yeah.
Do you need anything?
No.
What time is it?
It's 2:15.
Okay, well you can't have another one of those blackcurrants until 4 at the earliest. Can I make you a hot drink, maybe a lemon and honey?
I mean, if you're having a hot drink, I will.
I just want you to feel better. Or would you prefer a Barocca in some water?
Oh yeah, maybe a Barocca.
In some water. I might even, oh no I can't because of all the sugar. Can't join you in a Barocca and some water. Should have bought some ginger as well, and then I could have had lemon and ginger rather than lemon and honey. Okay, well I'll pop a Barocca in some water for you.
Pop a Barocca.
I'll make myself some tea. We haven't got any tea bags at the moment, our normal tea bags.
Oh, can I have a tea?
You want a tea, and a Barocca in some water.
Please.
And do you need anything else?
No, I don't
Do you
need
want
any
an orange?
food. No, I don't need another orange.
You feel full after your can of soup.
I do, thank you.
And then I think I'll do a bit of reading.
Is it a can of soup?
It was a can of soup.
Oh, cool.
Was it nice?
It was nice.
Yeah, I have got you a fresh vegetable one. Well, a fresh soup with vegetables in it. That I can do you if you don't feel up to cottage pie tonight. Do you think you will?
Don't know. Is there cheese on it?
Why? You put it in the face like you don't want cheese on it.
No, I don't fancy. I don't think cheese would be good for me.
No. Bless him. Cool, and then I'm going to read for a bit, so I'll go and make all that then. Are you alright to put some headphones on to watch the rest of your thing? Hey, my audiobook's just gone on in the other room. How did that happen? Bad lighting, but there's been a little bit of a change of plan in that my mum's currently making me a pair of velvet trousers, and she needs my leg measurements. And we don't have a tape measure here, so I've got to go there to get her to measure my legs. Lucky I don't get my pyjamas, because I was thinking about having an early bath and getting the pyjamas, but I think what I'll do, I've just made a cup of tea, otherwise I would have gone straight round there. And drink my tea, have a little read. David's currently snoozing on the sofa with Minnie, which is very cute. And then I'll go around there, and then when I get back, David might be awake and... Bath times. I know you were having a little snooze, but do remember you've got a Barocca and a cup of tea next to you.
I know, yeah, I was just thinking that. I might try and have some.
But I think I'll take you round with me to my mum so I can show you the material. And her... Yeah, do you want to come with us, David? And and everything. So David's even turned the telly off. That's how serious he is about having a little nap. So I'm going to do a bit of reading now.
It took so long to piece it all together.
Here I am at my mother's house while she moans at me how awful this pattern was to piece all together. This is the colour of my velvet, isn't it lovely? I'll show you the actual velvet. I'm very excited about it. Once you've made it, you'll think, oh, I can't wait until mine are made. Won't you?
I'm not making them.
Well, wouldn't you like a pair of trousers like this?
Don't know.
Oh. Measure me. What's a bit of soup on me there? That's a bit of soup.
Well,
do you think you're going to get them done today?
no.
No.
That took so long. I've got to measure your inside leg and you can't hold it that. No, just stand normally, not like
Why
that.
can't I hold it there?
Because then you're bending and making it, well, you might be able to. You need your legs a bit closer together.
It's on.
Right, you're on your heels, aren't you? You're not. Right, so.
It's going to be so easy. The pattern is the Sophia trouser pattern from Tilly and the Buttons, which actually comes, this very good book that we got my mum for her birthday, which comes with all of the patterns at the back. And you said it's so hard, but you could have just used the ones at the back already.
No. Have you seen the ones in the back?
Oh, is it pattern on top of
It is
pattern?
an absolute nightmare.
Oh dear.
I've never seen anything like this. And also, look, front and back is over printed. Look at that. How would you know? You can't.
You can't.
They're pointless because they're just, look, everything's over top of each
So
other.
you don't rate the patterns in the back of the book?
No.
Oh.
There's no way you can use them unless you trace
But
them.
Tilly and the Buttons themselves, very, very inclusive, all sorts of sizes, but just not the patterns that you get in the book. You've printed them off, but you get access to them.
They are patterns, but you can't use those. You'd have to trace them. But it's so over printed, you just can't.
Did you write that down?
No.
Do you remember it?
78.5, I think.
It's called a vulva.
No. Get away. Further that time. Are you holding it further up this time?
No, hold it in the same place.
Well,
Well, I'm bending over now.
now it's longer. Get this again, are you?
Well, the deal is that I've got to have, get off, I've got to have purple outfit for me choir. Cadbury's purple.
Yeah.
And I've very much struggled to find anything in Cadbury's purple.
Yeah.
The only thing I found is a bit of a rank new look dress. Nothing
They've all
second hand.
probably had something forever.
Nothing second hand. Everything's like light purple. And I thought, a pair of those trousers.
That would be nice, but what would you wear on the top?
Black, you can wear black.
Oh, right.
You can wear black and purple. Which is the dress that I've
Would you
managed to
not
get
want a
from
pair in
New
black?
Look. No, definitely. Well, no, because I'm not going to be able to get a purple top. I can't find purple anywhere. What was it called? Dalston Fabrics?
I've got the thing here.
Yeah, Dalston Mill
Yeah,
Fabrics.
but it tells
I'll link
you
it
the
down
name.
below.
Yeah, but I want to make these out of this.
Yeah, well, let me just see if they do a purple, because otherwise I'll just have
I don't
to...
think they will. I've been told it's the worst fabric to work with.
Purple velvet. They do something called lightweight cotton velvet purple.
This is nice because it's stretchy.
It's
but
on special
above
prices.
so
It's £8.50 a metre.
That's quite a lot.
No, it's not.
That was 6 something.
The ones I was looking at were like, when I was looking at other stuff, were like £14.
It's got to be velvet because
Well, I just thought they'd be nice and wintry. This is someone has made a hat for a little gnome out of that velvet, and that's what it looks like. And they said, great, easy to work with.
Yeah, but they might be experienced. Yeah, they're experienced to make that. That's a nice colour.
Why don't you just get a little bit more experience? Well, let's see how this goes, but because I've got a dress on order from New Look, but I'm not happy with it, and you know I don't like buying new stuff. But it was the only thing I could find.
A fair amount left over.
This is called Plush Stretch Velour in bottle. And we've got the matching thread as well.
Yeah. That weren't bad price.
Plush Stretch Velour.
I bought new pins.
Oh, they do it in a lovely burgundy.
That's not good for you, is it?
No, I know. Navy. Spandex Plush Stretch Velour in purple.
Yeah, but look to see if it's the right purple.
My mum's just adjusted the cutout situation so that she's going to be left with more fabric than we realised. And she doesn't know it yet.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Ooh, can you make me a t-shirt in it?
Yeah. Well, let's see how these go first.
Because then I can wear it as like a...
You don't want to wear the same thing.
Yeah, because it'll look like an all-in-one. With it tucked in.
Pattern upstairs is what you're thinking of.
This is it.
But it's,
Tabitha t-shirt.
is it like a... Oh, there's one with longer sleeves upstairs.
Yeah, well I'd want it short sleeved.
Yeah, but
You can, it has got a long sleeve one as well. No, I know which one you're talking about. That's the one I bought second hand from Depop. You can sometimes get patterns second hand on Depop.
I think that would be better because that's...
No, because it's boxier. Yeah, I want it like tighter than a top because I want to be able to tuck it in. And I like t-shirt stuff. So maybe I'll get her to do that. Anyway, if you don't need me for anything, I'll go home. But there is one more thing I need to do before I go home.
What was I going to measure? Your waist. Let me do that.
But there's one more thing I need to do.
What?
Alexa, play Heart Christmas.
I know it's out.
Heart Christmas from Global Player.
I know it's out. I heard...
Silver Bell!
I read it somewhere. And I was going to put it in my car and I thought, oh.
Back in this position, for just a little read. I've still got some washing to put out, so I want that to finish before I get in the bath. But Strictly's on at 6:30 tonight. I'd like to be cooking dinner by 5:30, in the bath by 4:30. It's currently 3:30. It's all coming together, isn't it? So a little bit more of a read. And yeah, that's that, I suppose. Is there much more opulent than a daytime bath? I can't be sure there is. I love a daytime bath, and I love a daytime bath when you don't have the lights on in here as well, so it's sort of like, because it's a darker room because we painted it blue, apart from the tiles. It just feels really like cosy and warm. So we're gonna have a bath now and use David bought himself yesterday, Bonfire. I'm very much looking forward to it. It smells very sort of like Christmassy and autumnal in a way that it used to when I was a child. And then I'm also going to use the soap as well. £9.36 was worth, as I said. Got done, didn't I? Well, I'm glad I bought it still. And it smells so juicy. Looks like this. So juicy. So that can go in my little soap tray alongside this other piece, which I think is from Wide Eye, which is lemony. So orange and cranberry and a bit of lemony, whatever you might want. And then I'm going to light this candle, which annoyingly is doing this. There's a trick, isn't there, where you can put like a bit of foil around there, which will make the rest of it melt, because they last longer. They don't just burn all the way down. This is Marshmallow Ghost. David picked this from Home Sense. I think it smells quite similar to this. Spicy. So I'm gonna light that. Like the old Marshmallow Ghost, the lid was very cute as well. I had lots of little like ghosty guys on there. Can you see the ghosty guys? Can you? Can you? Yeah, there they are. And then read more of Heaven in the Bath, which I think will be Heaven. And then David's going to get in after me. He says he's feeling a bit better. But he can't have those paracetamol drinks. We're trying to now do it so that he has one before he goes to bed, so that it will make him feel all right when he goes to bed. So he's foregoing one at the moment to try and hold off for a little bit, and then he can have one before he goes to bed. But anyway, let's get running this delicious bath and reading this. I'm going to have to get you to move because I need to use the toilet, and you're right near the toilet. How am I bonding with my dry soon era? Well, medium amount of bonding, I would say. It's not quite the sort of the marvel I thought it would be. It definitely dries things. I mean, to be fair, I've just dried in the space of an hour and an hour and a half, loads of tea towels and some dishcloths. Now they don't take particularly long time to dry, but they dried quite quickly. So for some things it's okay. I find it a bit awkward because it's so big and it's not on wheels, so it stays where it is. So the first time I set it up, it just had to sort of stay where it was, which was in the middle of the room, because I put all the, otherwise the legs get going and all sorts happen. I'd said that it was fine on my Instagram, and somebody commented and said I use it as a bit of a like airing cupboard, which we don't have here. So what I've just done now is just any of the tea towels that were a little bit damp, I've just folded into a pile and put on the bottom shelf while I'm drying the rest of this stuff. But I think what I'll find, also, this takes ages to go on, what I'll find is that this will take overnight and some. There's denim things in here, which obviously I wasn't expecting miracles. Like I said, this is a bit awkward. But yeah, it's just fine. Maybe I'll find, like, as time goes by, I'll find it a little bit better. But at the moment, not loads. Also, I was under the impression, there we go, that it was going to fit 2 loads of washing on. It has not, it fits 1 load of washing on, and not even that, because I've got a shirt left over, which I'm just going to hang on the back of this chair. It was awkward for shirts as well, because it's sort of like an era. There's nowhere to sort of like hang this over the side. So shirts are a bit awkward. And I've got a pair of pyjama bottoms here. So any tips on how, if you've got one, how you use it and make the best of it? The longer it's on, the hotter it gets, shockingly. But yeah. I haven't fallen instantly in love with it, but it's definitely going to help in the winter when we're not having the heating on and it's like so cold it feels like it would never, this stuff would never dry. So this is going to dry stuff quicker than it would in the winter, but at the moment I feel like stuff on chairs and on an airer might dry in the same time. Anyway, I'm going to go make dinner now. Do you want to come join me? Hey! What's for dinner tonight? Well, it's a comforting lentil cottage pie that we're going to have, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it. Actually, I made a sort of, oh, these haven't washed at all. That was in the dishwasher and it's done nothing. Although weirdly, the one that was next to it is completely clean. You just can't write these things, can you? You just can't. Yeah, so I made a Gusto recipe a couple of nights ago, and we used these IKEA things just to put one in each, which is quite nice because then you've got it on your plate and you just... So that's what I'm going to do again tonight. We'll have to wash that one up though. So yeah, comforting lentil cottage pie. I feel like I mention this all the time, but if you aren't with Gusto and you live in the UK, I've got a referral code which I'll link down below. Not quite sure what the referral code does all different things at different times of the year, and in fact I've actually just missed a really good deal that I could have shared with you. So you get 65% off of your first box and then 25% off your first month. So it's still a really good deal, and I get 20 quiddies. So if you want to use that, I would highly recommend. I love it. It really helps David and I with food waste, with a variety of what we're eating, because otherwise we would just have sweet and sour tofu every single night. And yeah, really, really like it. David likes cooking these as well. Otherwise I normally do all of the cooking, but David really likes them. And we do make these recipes again and again. So we've got a folder. Well, actually we've got about 3 of these folders now, but we put the recipe cards in afterwards and have a little browse. Oops. But yeah, would highly recommend, and particularly at these sort of times of year, they have like specials on the run up to Christmas. There were loads of good festive stuff, but at the moment I've just picked my stuff for the 28th of October, and it was like a lot of bonfire night stuff and Halloween things. So yeah, themed stuff as well. Seasonal eating, that's another reason I like it so much. So I'm going to make dinner while David, one red onion, one head of broccoli, while David's in the bath. Then we're going to watch Strictly. And I've got, let's have a look, 15 minutes of Forever Home by Graham Norton to finish listening to. I've very much enjoyed it. I enjoy the old Graham Norton books, I really do. And this one is probably my second favourite. I still maintain that A Keeper is my favourite. I just think it's bloody brilliant. 2 cloves of garlic. But this one's also been very, very good as well. If you like Marion Keys and you like sort of like family mysteries, then I would definitely recommend. What am I looking for in here? Cheese. Yeah, then I would definitely recommend. I'm going to use this cheese, but I've also got a little bit of cheese there that I need to use up, so I'm going to do double the cheese, although David has literally just said to me he doesn't want that much cheese. 1 carrot. Oh, that's a bit of a soft carrot. I mean, I am making this 2 days after they've told me to make it, so I've only got myself to blame. Lentils, Marmite, tomato paste, 4 white potatoes, and 11 grams of vegetable stock. And there's some leftover dried oregano. I might stick that in there as well, why not? Cool. Then Strictly is in an hour, or less than an hour, so I need to get a wiggle on really. Well, I've finished Forever Home, and I've got more cooking to do. So I know it's very short, I've got The Collectors by Philip Pullman, which is read by Bill Nighy. That's 32 minutes long, on Libby. So I'm definitely going to listen to that. So there's a chance I could finish 2 whole books whilst cooking dinner. Such is the joy of audiobooks. But you guys already know how much I love audiobooks. Yeah, so I'm gonna crack on with that then. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if it's got anything to do with his Dark Materials. It might be. Right. Took these guys off.
The Collectors by Philip Pullman.
We're watching Strictly, and Fleur has just done the most amazing Argentine tango I've ever seen of my life. Anyway, we've got to watch this now. Bye. Strictly. Oh, David, do you mind being in this because you're not feeling very well?
Hi.
Strictly Tonight. 2 of the dances from Strictly Tonight were 2 of the best dances I have ever seen on Strictly. Fleur's Argentine tango and Hamza's salsa. What are you watching, David? Oh, you're watching Hamza. He's watching Hamza again. Amazing. I will link those videos down below of Fleur and Hamza's dances tonight. I don't know if you're able to watch them if you're outside of this country. Hey, I'm going to share them anyway because they are both 2 of the most amazing dances I've ever seen. David's got Thursday's House of Games on, ready to get Hundy P. Shall I wrap up the whole video now? Would you mind, David, if I answer the question and read a poem?
Go for it.
I'm going to go and get let's answer the question and read poems. Hold on. Okay. David, you might want to answer this as well.
I think we've already had this conversation.
Oh.
There's only really, there's 1, maybe 2 answers I could give.
So the question was, what is your favourite movie or television series based on a book? What made it a good adaptation? So what I will say is that my favourite film of all time is the Greta Gerwig Little Women, and that is obviously an adaptation. I love that film more than, and I like that book. So that I think is imagine an adaptation that actually makes the book better. Can you imagine? What I love about that is the casting, how I don't think any of the characters are sort of elevated to be gooder or better than they actually are. I think everyone's very real in it, and the casting's amazing. I love Florence Pugh. So anything with her in, I love, love, love. But I think the costumes in it are amazing. I think, excuse me, David. I just think it's an amazing, amazing film. If we're looking at TV series, I cannot not mention Babysitter's Club, because Babysitter's Club is something that we've watched this year and last year. Babysitter's Club is a series of books that I used to read when I was younger. I was very, very into them. And like they were my first sort of like foray into reading like novels almost, by Anne M. Martin, and then in recent years they adapted it into a Netflix series, and they just cast it perfectly, really diversely cast, covering like really important issues and sticking quite faithfully to the books, but bringing them up to date. They were written in like the 80s and the 90s, so bringing those books up to date while still covering the issues that were covered in the original books. Yeah, I really thought it was great. It was also like super cute and autumnal and gentle and comforting read. Devastated that it hasn't been made, that they've cancelled it. They're not going to make any more, because I absolutely loved it. I do have a couple more honourable mentions. Something that David and I watched the whole series of earlier this year, and that's The Hunger Games. I think those adaptations have really captured the sort of spirit and seriousness of the message, while still like, and how awful it is that people are entertained by the Hunger Games. And I think to do that in a YA book and film is a really clever thing to be able to manage, wouldn't you say? And again, I think the casting in that's brilliant. And also Bridget Jones's Diary. I think it's a really good film, and yeah, one of my favourite films as well as one of my favourite books. David, have you got any favourite film or movie adaptations?
Yeah.
Film or television adaptations?
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One is a book that David... Did you watch the film first or read the book first?
No, I read the book first in anticipation for the film.
And what do you think makes
really enjoyed the book.
Look at this bit of cottage pie you've got down you.
I've got several bits of cottage pie down me.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
What do you think makes it a good adaptation?
I just thought it really just honed in on the whole like virtual reality, like AI world, and I thought it was very cleverly cast, very good, and it just it's just so immersive, and you just feel like you're in it, and you just think like this could be the future. Was how they depicted it in film how you imagined it when you were reading it? Yes. And like they pulled it off to the pretty much, yeah, because essentially like in the book they just mention everything. Yeah. You know, like there's no like nostalgic that they don't mention, and everything's in there. Yeah. And it's just very cleverly done, and like how painstakingly long it must have taken to like get all of like the licenses to agree to this and stuff. It's really cool. Like, that being said, I'm not looking I'm hoping... Are they making Ready Player 2 into... they say they are. There's been no news on it, but I mean, as long as it's better than the book, because the book was rubbish. Cool. The second one. Was there anything else, or was it just We Bought a Zoo I liked. Oh yeah. Have you read We Bought a Zoo the book? Yeah. I have not read the book. No, it's... Oh yes, I do remember. You've read it after you saw the film, though, didn't you? It's slightly different, but still very much follows the same. The only thing different is that in the book, his wife is alive for, I think, the first 6 months. Oh, when they own the zoo? When they own the zoo, but obviously in the movie, she just died straight off. A memoir, it's real life. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. Thank you for answering those, David. Okay. What is your favourite movie or television series based on a book? What made it a good adaptation? Very, very interested to hear what you think. If you have watched any of the things that David's mentioned, David or I, not just David, David or I have mentioned, would love to hear. Me. Okay, so we're the 15th of October today. There's 2 poems. One is called At Senlac Hill, 15th of October 1066, and the other one's called A Shropshire Lad 13. What shall I go for? I mean, I would opt for the Shropshire Lad. Well, let's go for it. It's your choice. So, A Shropshire Lad 13 by A.E. Houseman. Ready.
When I was 1 and 20, I heard a wise man say, give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free. But I was 1 and 20, no use to talk to me. When I was 1 and 20, I heard him say again, the heart out of the bosom was never given in vain. 'Tis paid with sighs a plenty and sold for endless rue. And I am 2 and 20, and oh, 'tis true, 'tis true. That's nice, isn't it?
Mm.
Did you think it nice or did you think it was fine?
You
weren't listening.
I mean,
It doesn't feel
listening.
very well.
I was listening. He was talking about being 21 and like just
Yeah.
enjoying life.
Yeah, not listening to people's advice, and then turns out he was right all along, mate.
Yeah.
And he realised when he was 2 and 20. Very good. So yeah, thanks for joining me for this reading vlog that spanned 2 days. I hope you've enjoyed it. David and I are now going to watch Richard Osman's House of Games. We're getting better. We seem to, this week, we might have got through every single first round, have we?
No, 2. We got through 2. We didn't get through Mondays.
Okay, but we've been doing better, so we are getting there. So maybe one day we will get Hundy P. But yeah, see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!